right. So I have Shane Woods with me, and she is, of course, the amazing founder of Girlstart. If you did not see her t-shirt, you need to get yourself some of that. She has been doing great and incredible things with that organization. She was recently in the White House with some stuff going on. So, Shane is a very important lady. She actually wrote one of the chapters for the Empowering Women in STEM book, and it's called Allow Them to Answer the Call, which I loved. Totally loved. But I'm gonna hand it over to Shane. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And I want you to tell some people about what do you do? Like I know there's no typical day, but like what do you do on a regular day?
Oh, that is such an amazing question for an executive director to try and answer.
Oh,
I
yes.
get a chance to lead Girl Start, which is a national organization that is coast to coast, if you will. We get a chance to be in Boston, of course, founded in Texas, and
Hmm.
we also get a reach in the South Bay area of California. So all the coast, if you will, are
Yes.
covered. And so what that means is I get a chance to really be the best ambassador there is for
Mhm.
Girl Start. I always say that my job is honestly to take care of the women of Girl Start so that they can do their best to take care of the youth of Girl Start. Being founded in 1997 is one of those things that when Rachel Muir was thinking of all these things, she was wanting people to make sure that the girls that were in the back of the classroom knew that STEM was for them to kind of
Yes.
move up and lean forward into being able to like math, to think science is
Mhm.
something that they can do. And through Girl Start, we do that. We make sure that not only do they get an enriching, world-class curriculum that really is career focused, it's focused on the women who do those careers. So
Mhm.
that way they start seeing the people who are already champions of
Ah,
STEM and,
yes.
and making a difference in the world. So it's one of those things that they do that through after school clubs, summer camp experiences, girl in STEM conferences, as well as other year-round program that allows the family to also wrap around these youth and cheer them on and also have those moments of they didn't know that. And so they're
Mm-hmm.
learning alongside their child to show that learning doesn't just stop.
I
So it's
love
one of
that.
those things that we also have STEM crew who are typically pre-professional
Mm-hmm.
college and high school students who are truly that near peer model of the ones who are doing the true program facilitation. So I get to make sure that I'm supporting chief program officer who is making sure all of that really has that Girl Start fun filled experiences, as well as looking at the other side of nonprofit, reminding people that nonprofit is truly just a tax status, but it's still a business model.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have to think about operating cost and
Yes.
development and stewardship of those who do believe in our story. So it's that unsexy part, if you will, of being able to help navigate and fill the gap that we all see in industry of getting more women into STEM.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to be able to be the part of that story where we get more women interested in it and also be able to talk to those in industry to say, how do you keep them there? I think
Mm-hmm.
that's something that really helps underlie what we're doing in terms of I'm starting early in grades 4 and 5 to get these women primed to become the best candidates for the opportunities that you all have. But once they get there, keep them there. Keep them in the forefront of STEM and helping them see the difference that whatever their job is makes on the environment. So I get to do a lot of things. Sometimes it's talking to people to spread the message about Girl Start, celebrating what we do with my staff, but also getting a chance to show new people Girl Start
Mm-hmm.
at our camps, at our after school clubs, and really bring them into the fold and hopefully get us into some new neighborhoods, some new schools and new states.
Yes, and I agree because it's so important, the work that you're doing. It starts at that level. It starts with the girls. And I love the fact that you actually have the families involved as well. Because, like, supporting the girls is one thing, but being able to get their family involved as well and them understanding what goes into it, that's just mind-blowing. Like, that is the game changer for me there. Making sure that everybody is on board because sometimes what happens is that you have different family members and they're going to be talking to other family members and they're going to be spreading the word like yes you should get the girls involved because that's like your logo, as your brand says, it's yeah, it's time to start, right? It is time to start. And you're doing a lot of incredible work. And I love that we get to help you feature that and bring some more, eyes on that because what like I love the fact that we're empowering girls starting as early as we can because there is a bit of a stigma attached with those science subjects,
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh, I can't do that, No, you can, you totally can. And like putting in the work now, helping them to understand it, and that kind of helps them to be able to do any challenge that they want to do in the future. So you're really just helping them on an all-round basis, not just with maths, because everybody needs a little help with that sometimes. Thanks.
Oh,
Where?
yes. Oh, yes.
So I want to ask you, and I know you know this answer. Why did you actually write this chapter? Like, what motivated you so much to write this chapter? I loved it totally, you know.
Having been a middle school science teacher and getting a
Mm-hmm.
chance to even work at a camp that was focused on STEM and now leading an organization focused on empowering girls through STEM, a question that I was always get from parents of girls or youth who are experiencing childhood as a girl is what's next? How do I make sure that I'm supporting her? How do I know that she really is interested, and if she is and has told me, what do I do to support that? And so being able to answer that call and allow them to answer the call that's coming from within is really what helped me figure out what I wanted to say to parents, to
Mm-hmm.
caregivers, to the community that at large is really wanting more girls to be
Mm-hmm.
able to feel that they belong in these careers. Many of the girls already know that they can do these things at a certain level. And then it's around middle school that they start having
Mm-hmm.
more doubt. So elementary girls, you ask them what they want to be, you'll get ballerina, architect, astronaut, and they'll think they can do all of those things.
Yes,
And what I want through the work that I do is for them to not feel like they can't do those things, for them to self-select out before they've tried it.
right.
So, of course, some of that is time consuming. Some of that does have a special skill set that you need to develop. So, of course, as you get older and your interest changes, that's fine. But to just self-select out because you've heard
Yeah.
your parents say that they're not
Mm-hmm.
good at math, or only boys are supposed to be architects or engineers, it's one of those things that we want to stop that and have
Yeah.
that girl have that inner curiosity, that inner
Yeah.
cheerleader that allows her to know that although this may be hard, once I survive it, it's either success or a lesson learned. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really what it is. It's about making sure we nurture that curiosity, that we
Mm-hmm.
provide them opportunities to be curious, and that we
Yeah.
don't take that away from them, that we learn how to allow them to have the conversation of, well, why do you think it's hard? What's
Mm-hmm.
hard about it? How can I help you? What kind of assistance can you do in order to make this possible? But also allowing us to learn how to be better
Yeah.
cheerleaders for them. How do
Mm-hmm.
we make sure that we teach them how to celebrate themselves? So, of course, say, I'm so proud of you. I love
Yeah.
how you did that. But also reflecting immediately to say, but how do you feel? How
Mm-hmm.
did getting that award feel? How did being a part of that robotics team make you feel? What is it about making those designs through that 3D printer that you really want to, talk about? What would you do differently next
Yeah.
time? And for Girl Start to then be able to attach a career to that is
Mm-hmm.
really what I want people to understand. We always hear about the STEM pipeline, which is so unfortunate and limiting because it means that there's boundaries all
Yeah.
around in order to keep the girl going in a certain way. When there's so many different ways to get to these things, so many
Mm-hmm.
different avenues and on-ramps to these careers. So I want it to be very zero barriers, if you will,
Yeah.
approach to STEM of they are curious enough to try it. They fail forward. They have camaraderie with others who are looking like them, feeling like them, experiencing it like them, and really allowing them to feel like they have enough within them to raise their hand in that class, to sign up for that hard major, to go for that promotion as a woman and only in the field that she has chosen because it's her passion, and to
Mm-hmm.
know that hopefully it's something that started with a spark at some organization like Girl Start or their
Yeah.
favorite teacher and said, go for invention convention
Mm-hmm.
or try this science fair project. sign up for this robotics. So it's allowing them to answer the call. And that's
Yes.
really something that I think we all know about it, but it doesn't hurt for my chapter to help resonate. What does it mean for us to do that and allow them the space to become the next future STEMinists that they are?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. Like you've just brought everything together. And I think, yes, we celebrate all of the wins, but we don't take the time to let them enjoy the moment. Like, it's always like, what's next? Okay, we're going again. And,
Yes.
and as adults as well, we keep doing the same thing as well. We keep moving from one to the next, on to the next thing, on to the next,
Always.
challenge. Oh boy, yes, we know that for sure. But being able to do that, sit back and, reflection, I think that helps them a lot and it sets them up for the future.
Mhm.
And that is like a part that a lot of us miss growing up. So I am so glad that you are doing this work and you're helping them to be, you know, better in the workplace. Because what we're talking about here is the future generation. We're
Oh,
talking
yes.
about the leaders of tomorrow who are going to be the ones, charting the courses for us, basically for us in the future.
Mhm.
So we better make sure we get it right for them, you know. Make sure that they have that chance. And what you're
Yes.
doing as well is not just teaching them about, STEM subjects, it's also doing that needful bit of work in terms of character development. Like, I just
Yes.
need to highlight that part because I think that's so important. A lot of times we forget about that and we forget that, hey, we're dealing with little humans. Um, you know, there's that part as well. It's not just about the academic part. Yes, maths may be great for some people, but there's also a human involved at the end of the day. And we
Yes.
need to make sure that they can communicate, they have a strong character, you know, when they go out into the workplace, those are the skills that they're going to be relying on. Like those
Yes.
are going to be the ones that they're going to be going back and like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that Shane helped me out at that point in my life because that was important for me. Because at throughout the entire process of your life, you're going to be going through challenges.
Oh,
And these are
yes.
the Yes.
Oh,
And these are the
yes.
ones that these are the things they help you so much. And you may actually get, and this sounds terrible when I say it out loud, you may have gotten more training when you were a child compared to when you get into the workplace. And the thing about it is that as a child, you can change those habits compared to
Mhm.
when you get to the workplace and you're like, wait, what are they talking about? I don't know what they're talking about. What do I do?
Oh, yes.
Oh my
And then you feel
gosh.
bad about asking for
Yes.
help. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
we have to make sure that they understand. It's not a bad thing. It's not a sign
No.
of weakness to say help. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many people with doctorates and terminal
Yes.
degrees who are geniuses at what they know,
Mm-hmm.
but they know a lot about what they know a lot
Yes.
about. And it's okay for them to then say, well, I know the law and I know
Mm-hmm.
about patent law, but I don't know how this machine necessarily works.
Yes.
Let me find someone who does that part. So teamwork really is critical and about
Mm-hmm.
allowing them to understand what does it mean to be a part of a team,
Yes.
to cheer one another on, to pick up slack for whatever reason that might be happening, but also to have that that dialogue
Yeah.
of ask for help prior to. This is what it looks like when you're troubleshooting. We all have to do
Mm-hmm.
these things. And you're
Mm-hmm.
right, it's easier to teach them now
Yes.
than when you are sitting in that project management meeting with an adult
Yeah.
who is just stuck on, well, I did my part, and they're
Yeah,
not
that's it.
understanding it impacts everyone in the room.
Mm-hmm. It does. It does. So guess what? This is the future of the nation, of the entire world. We need to get this right now. We
Oh,
have the
yes.
opportunity. Let's make sure we have that done. So I'm gonna ask you one more question. What would you say to inspire more people to join like STEM fields? And this is something I think you probably say a lot, but I'm gonna ask you still.
I do. However, I always want to make sure that it's something that resonates at every level when
Hmm.
it comes to how I hope people see the future. I hope they see themselves being the best contributor they can be. And for those who love numbers, then do that. For those who love science and ask questions about how did we get here? What does it mean to be here? How do we be better stewards of the earth? Pursue that. For those who really want to find solutions to complicated problems, tackle those. For those who want to dress everybody and make sure that they look beautiful and feel their best, do that. Guess what? You're also going to end up using STEM to do that.
Mhm.
Every tool you pick up, every design that is made, all of that still has science, technology, engineering, and math. So you can use those four letters to just make the world different and make sure that you pursue as much as you can when it's free. For those of y'all that are in K through 12, make sure you take those classes that you're interested in
Mhm.
because it allows you to also see what you're not interested in.
Yeah.
And that way you're not in debt 5 years, 10 years
Mhm.
down the road in a path that you didn't really like. So I really want to say the caregivers of the youth, just help them pursue that curiosity. If you hand a kid a box and they don't know what's in it, they'll immediately start shaking, doing some scientific testing of how
Mhm.
heavy is it? Can I smell it? Is it barking at me? Because they're curious and they don't have vocabulary attached to that. They just want to know what's on the other side. And
Mhm.
that's how we should all approach, STEM is what's on the other side? What skills do I need in order to figure out what's inside this box? What do I need to figure out in order to get more people fed? What do I need to figure out to get, the lights turned on in this underdeveloped country? Those are the kind of things that we still want that one curious question that kid has to hopefully become a career and allow them to make their mark. Because what we want them to be is to be amazing legacy makers. And so we've got to make sure we clear out all of the pathway that we're blocking up as
Mhm.
adults and allow them to have full run of what's coming for them.
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. I absolutely love that because we definitely need to fuel their curiosity and let them make the choices because it sounds a bit weird, but they are the ones who are gonna have to live with it, and they are the
Oh,
ones who are gonna
yes.
have to do the jobs. So making the choices for them because you feel like they should do that, it's not the best thing. Let them make their choices because they have to, they are the ones who are gonna have to do the extra hours or figure the things out, fuel their curiosity,
Oh,
as
yeah.
Shane rightfully said, fuel their curiosity. But Shane, I know you're a very busy lady, so I'm not going to take up much more of your time today. But thank you so much for writing the chapter, allowing them to answer the call, doing all of the work that you're doing. You've been doing a great job. Like, hats off to you and your team. Like, it's been amazing. And I love what I see coming out from Girl Stars. If you do not know about Girlstart, you need to Google it and check it out. Um, Shane is amazing and she's doing great work with her nonprofit company with Girlstart. Check that out. And whenever you get some time, check out her chapter in the book. She talks about how you as a caregiver can actually be more supportive towards anybody who wants to enter STEM. So it's a great chapter, covers a lot of information. So check it out when you get some time. Shane, thank you so much for your time and being with us today and writing the chapter, the book.
No, but I'll thank you to you for making us be available to write a book and write a chapter and to speak to all of those who are interested in STEM. So thank you.
That was my pleasure, Shane. My pleasure, surely. All right, thank you. Bye.